We've come to the Taipei flower markets. We're underneath a freeway, and during the weekdays, this is just a car park. But on the weekend, it absolutely comes alive with plants. Now, I'm pretty excited, Trev.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am just out of my mind with excitement. This place is stunning, and there's a beautiful cherry place over here, so I'm going to go and have a look.
Well, I've got a couple of rippers over here, so I'll see you later.
All right. One of the things I just love about the Northern Hemisphere spring are the cherry blossoms. They're just gorgeous. And Korea and Japan, well, they're famous for it. We'll visit them a bit later in this series. But Taiwan has them as well. And look, they're grown here in pots, and it makes them perfect for growing on balconies.
Penjing, the Chinese form of bonsai, is enormously popular in Taiwan. This glorious conifer has been trained using advanced techniques so that most of the branches are actually dead wood. A small sliver of bark has been left intact, which supplies sap and life itself to the green living foliage. The price tag for this one, $10,000 Australian.
What an absolute corker. This is a small leaf rubber tree, a ficus that's been trained to look as though it were hundreds of years old. The branches have been trimmed to have this flat layer cake sort of an appearance, and it really is a very special piece of plant pruning.
Well, I tell you what, I just love the orchids in the market. They are just beautiful, and there's displays everywhere of all different sorts. Now, it's such a big industry here in Taiwan, and there's so many growers that the prices are super competitive. Something like this is just $6.
Houseplants are all the go here in Taiwan, and there's some terrific performers. This is the ZZ plant. Now, the red ribbons make it look terrific, but they're in fact for good luck, a great performer. And then the gorgeous bromeliads. These plants are just about unkillable. Hey, Trev, what do you got there?
Oh, get a load of this.
Yes.
Now, this is a wonderful hedging plant. Absolutely sensational. Dark green foliage, but it's the flowers, and they're tiny little yellow flowers, but the fragrance is just mind-blowing, really intoxicating. They're called osmanthus, and you can get them in Australian garden centres. Something to look out for.
These days, Taiwan's population is largely made up of people who can trace their roots back to China, but you could call them recent arrivals.
It wasn't until the 1400s that Chinese migrants from the Fujian province started sailing across the Taiwan Strait to settle here. But they weren't alone. Here you go, mate. There were already ancient tribes that had been living here for thousands of years.
Welcome to Formosan Aboriginal Culture Village, an ingenious setup where visitors can spend a day to learn about many aspects of the culture and daily activities of Taiwan's original tribal groups. Check it out online at www.taiwan.net.tw. For many of the visitors, this is their introduction to the cultures of the original tribes of Taiwan.
I come from a Amis tribe, the larger group in Taiwan, and the population about 170,000. And Taiwan Aboriginal have 13 different tribes, many. And we come from 3,600 years ago. We live in this place, Formosa, long ago.
10 different tribal houses have been recreated, which represent 10 out of the 13 remaining Aboriginal groups in Taiwan today. And you'll find scenes inside, such as this traditional wedding celebration that I kind of invited myself to.
You wouldn't believe it. He's only turned up with half a chicken. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where can I get one of those beautiful outfits? Well, this is the traditional clothing of the Paiwan people from the south of Taiwan. So if you want one, you're going to have to come over here. Now, later in the program, we'll be returning to the beautiful Sun Moon Lake area. But for now, let's see what Nev's up to.
We're back from the markets, and Chef has already prepared the crab. Now, it is a special dish that we've got lined up, Shanghai stir-fried crab with 3 different sorts of eggs. First up, we're putting chicken stock into the wok to boil it up. Then the crab meat's going into a little bowl, and essentially the stock is going to be poured over the top of that to keep it nice and warm. Equally, we've got two sorts of eggs there, the 1,000-year-old duck eggs and some fresh duck eggs. Next, vegetable oil goes into the wok, and then these are the whites from an egg. And they're going to be fried up so they turn a lovely, bright, clean white colour. Then it's poured through a colander to remove the oil. Now this is chicken oil. And it's got lovely flavours in there. Basically, it's the fat that's been rendered down. This is the ginger being fried off, and also a quantity of green onion, or spring onion as we call it. Not a lot, just enough to give a small amount of delightful flavour. There's a bit of chicken stock going in to broil that off. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and this is sesame oil. And just to thicken up the whole brew, a little bit of cornstarch. It's got a rich consistency now of a sauce. Now, into the wok go the two sorts of egg as well as the cooked up crab meat. And in it goes for the stir-fry process. Okay, and now we're ready to serve. So the mixture is placed into a crab shell. This has been cleaned out, it's already cooked, of course. And then it's a matter of adding some garnish. Now, coming up a little later in the show, we're going to be preparing the famous Peking duck. So stay with us.